Hey guys, it's Will. So we just wrapped up our live session this morning, and man, I'll tell you, it was a volatile morning. In fact, we even weren't able to capitalize on this full APLD swing, but we're going to talk about exactly why we should have seen it coming and also why APLD is going to be one of the top data center companies to be watching right now. If you at least want to keep an eye on the companies supplying the data centers for Coreweave, one of the top hyperscalers, companies that are building data centers, and companies that are allowing larger AI companies to build the infrastructure with renewable energy, things like that. That's exactly what APLD focuses on. So let's get into it. So when it comes to APLD, the first thing that I'm going to be watching today is that they do continue to recover after this massive dip yesterday. They dipped down big time yesterday. We saw a very large dip right here into yesterday, and we actually capitalized on it by trading APLZ. And then today we started to see this recovery on APLD as it gets up about 12% in its recovery. Now, a couple things to consider. It did bounce that support level that we've seen so notoriously strong in the past. It's this level where we've seen them bounce back in September 2025 around $20 a share. We saw them bounce here around $19 a share. And a lot of times this is where once the market gets exhausted or the market's been selling down, which that's kind of what we've seen a lot of times here, when the retail gets exhausted and then you see institutions jump back in, this has been the level at which they bounced, is right around this $20 price point. They did bounce at $20 and we see them start to recover, but still got some things to do right now because you got this macro recovery in the market, very green, very bullish. You got APLD is up, 11% or 12%. NBIS is up 10%. Coreweave is up 9%. TSSI is up 6%. IREN is up 5%. All these companies are really rocketing today. Even AMD and APLD are doing well as well. And if you take a look at the support here, where they've had a previous support level back on March 6th, around 23, that's where they're going to be facing the resistance right here. And this is also very key to note across the broader market. If you go into SPY, for example, and you take a look at SPY from a trend perspective, obviously we've had a very nice trend over the last year. We could see this bullish increase, seeing SPY continually surge, and there is that potential for big drawdowns that we've talked about in the past. But in this recent surge today, that's all great. It's good to see. But if you do take a look back and just kind of have a look at this recent trend with SPY over the last week or so, from here, let's call it February, it's been like this. Okay, so while we've seen these recoveries sometimes, not always, sometimes, this could be a nice V-shaped pattern. This is one of the strongest days we've seen in a while. We might see a V-shaped pattern. We get a breakout. We get the continuation of the SPY. Whole market continues to surge, and that absolutely could be the case here. But just to kind of keep in check, at least, that there is the possibility, and this is not saying that this is going to happen, but there is the possibility that you have this smaller downtrend that's continuing with SPY. And when we've had these V-shaped kind of recoveries over the course of 2 days selling down, 1 day big recovery, we still see some lower highs here throughout March. See February to March, lower highs and lower lows. And while we have a nice recovery today, and we're looking for that breakout, that continuation on SPY, there is that risk, of course, that you see that continuation down in their trend, that it does continue and sell back down from, let's say, 650 where it's at now, back down to that 625, and continue some of that downward pressure. I mean, we hear news about certain things. You got Google saying Bitcoin can get hacked. You have Trump basically saying that the war tensions aren't as bad. Crude oil is at $108 a barrel. There's confidence rising a little bit despite the gas prices rising as well. But it's kind of a hope, advancing on the hope that things are easing in the war. But it could also be the market say, hey, look, we don't really care what's going on. We don't really care what's going on. We're just going to keep going with the market, right? There could be that whole thing as well. But nevertheless, it's not enough to break them out of pattern. So how does that tie back to APLD? Well, APLD is in a similar trend, right? You have their near trend starting March 25th they have a downtrend currently where they've been like this. And while we got this nice, recovery today, if you zoom in and you look back over the last week, you do have lower highs and lower lows. And with this nice recovery today, we get a breakout. If we get up to $25 a share and looking for 29 bucks a share, that's going to be an awesome breakout. If we get to see it, it's about a 25% upside. But in the downtrend that we are seeing currently, there is that potential for them to, continue this downtrend after this temporary relief of about 14, 10 to 15% sell down or continuation and breaking pattern. Now, we wouldn't like to see that, obviously, but just keeping in mind the levels and kind of where we're at currently. While it's a nice recovery, you do got to watch the previous support level from yesterday acting as a resistance, kind of like what we'd be seeing in the SPY chart as well. And so with APLD and most data center stocks, there is that volatility in the near term. But if you just take a look back over the last year, you're looking at 2 to 5 to even 10x in some of these data center companies. They've gone from just $3 a share. Really, back in this time last year, they were at around $3 a share, and they've surged to $42 a share, and they're currently at around $22 a share as the market continues to recover today. So you do see that downtrend, obviously, from 42 down to 22, but we are looking at that zone of that 200-day moving average for APLD for them to potentially recover. And so this is where patience kicks in. I've had positions where we've been down big time, and we've had to be very patient around the positions and make sure that, we're not pulling the trigger too early, that we're not selling out too early, that we're also managing risk if it's a short-term trade. And that's where the nuance comes in. It can be difficult to really manage. It takes a lot of emotional discipline. It also takes a lot of ability to deal with loss and not let it, hurt you week over week and get so emotional on the day to day. So you can continue to apply processes and trust the process that you continue to build and refine what you're doing, so that when you make it and when you're able to make profits, you keep them because you have systems in place that got you there, that weren't based on luck, that weren't based on you guessing or things like that. And so that's really important, especially with APLD, like looking at this stock in the short term. Again, I was trading it today. We had cut losses on a few different positions related to APLD, and even trading the inverse over on APLZ, which is highly risky when you have a big recovery like today. And it has required some risk management. It has required also some patience in certain areas. And so it's really important to note that in the short term, that's what you're going to experience, or even in the couple weeks or the couple months of trading in the data center market, it's going to be that way quite often. But in the longer term positioning, and you look into some of the moves, that's where you kind of look at the market of data centers. We could kind of get an idea of the data center market very clearly here. If you were to search up APLD here, you'd see a lot of the projections are double digits. We're talking 25, 30, 40% projections oftentimes from some of the top models in the world, from Gemini to Grok to Claude. Claude is projecting 28% year over year growth in this stock. And you have support levels, obviously, to watch where they can hold above. But even the technicals aside, you got Vanguard buying and BlackRock is buying. And these aren't just guesses. These are very, very clear looks at which institutions are pulling the trigger and buying right now. And so when you look at some of the news, once again, they did have some recent offerings. If you look at their press releases, they got their earnings coming up on April 8th. But if you look at what they're doing, it's a full notice to proceed on a $2.4 billion power generation project for Applied Digital AI Factory. And that news came out essentially stating that Applied's partnership with Base Electron ensures stable dispatchable power, and that they are looking to add more power to be able to essentially run these data centers. And so that's going to be a big key as well. You're going to see, they're investing in power. If you're seeing, if you had to ask yourself, what are the top things that a company would need to run a successful data center business, power is probably going to be the biggest one. If you were to look at some of the targets from general company news, not just our company, and looking at where we're seeing projections here on our own, but you're to look at what other people are saying. A lot of the people that you don't need to listen to, but could consider. A lot of the targets are between $40 to $70 a share for APLD in the long term. So any volatility here on out is, it's volatility, but a lot of the bullish momentum is expected to continue in the data center market as AI continues to grow. So when it comes to the outlook on the top data center companies and what you'd want to watch right now, where's the nearest support level? You do have the nearest support level at $20, and they literally reached $20 on the dot. That was the low that we saw them reach in the last few days. $20 was the low, and that $20 support is very key. Want to see them hold above that. They're also at the 200-day moving average, so that's oftentimes where companies will hold if they're going to keep their bullish momentum. If we do see them hold their bullish momentum, you are looking at a trade like this in the longer term, that 50 to 100% potential recovery back up into that $35 to $40 range. That's kind of your swing trade or your longer term outlook, considering that they hold this trend that they've kind of had pretty consistently over the last year. Now, if they do that, once again, they have about $16 billion currently in deals, and their market cap is at $7.9 billion, with a positive revenue increase that we've seen over the last few quarters. We have seen their revenue jump, with their revenue last quarter up to $126 million, and their balance sheet is holding at about $5.2 billion in assets, $2 billion in equity. They have plenty of assets, plenty of equity, and the revenue is increasing. Costs are pretty high, around $146 million. So their net income is still a little bit negative at about negative $19 million. But that does give them runway to continue to spend, continue to do what they're doing for, I guess, years and years and years, given their current buildup of equity there, and their total assets sitting at about $5.2 billion. If they're losing $19 million a quarter and just building data centers, some of these top companies will obviously continue to pay that right now. That's what the market's saying. And it seems that also some of the top institutions will continue to buy this company, at least based on our buy to sell ratio of what we're seeing from an institutional perspective. More sells currently than buys on the insiders, but on the institutions, more buys than sells. Nothing alarming there, very normal, seeing increases in income as we expected as they build more data centers, and they have to raise more money. So the projections are bullish in the longer term. Looking into the nearer term, let's say next day or so, there is some bearish momentum potential. So we'll be watching throughout the week. And again, we will be having our 10K trading challenge continuing. So if you haven't joined it already, free to join. Check the first link below to join the 10K trading challenge. We've never done a challenge like this ever before, and you're getting complete unfiltered access to see exactly how we're trading with that 10K trading account. So once again, go to the first link below, join the challenge if you haven't already. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.